Hello, I'm Sue Tonks, and I'm delighted to spend some time with you today helping you become a more effective and confident networker in all of those business and social occasions that you find yourself. People think that networking is just about building business relationships, but actually we're networking every minute of the day when we bump into people in the street and we're talking to people out on a social occasion, friends and family. And use these skills that we're going to develop over the next few sessions to actually help you in all of those situations become a lot more confident in that face-to-face interaction, particularly where it's important. Today we're going to start where we left off in my last session, which was about one of the fundamentals of networking. Networking is building relationships. And relationships means that we need to create this in the people that we talk to. They need to get to know us, hopefully like us, and trust us to do business with. We talked last time about how quickly we had to make an effective first impression. It might take a long time to build up trust, but it only takes a few seconds to build an effective first impression. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, it's done. So what I want to talk to you about today is in that 3 seconds, how you can come over the best way possible. And in the first 3 seconds, when you meet somebody for the first time, maybe in a business setting, I want you to shine, just shine. What do you think the S stands for? Well, you know, one of the things about building an effective relationship is the smile. So smile at somebody. Now that doesn't mean to say that we have this awful grimace, you know, hello, nice to see you, all that. You know, it's really got to come from inside. It's the need to want or the desire to want and talk to somebody and to create that first link with them. And you know, when we smile, we look warm, friendly, approachable, and also open. One of the difficulties we have when we walk into a room which is full of different groups and formations, 2s, 3s, 4s and mores, is how do we actually make that approach and show that we're welcoming? Well, it's very difficult to smile when you're in closed body language. Just try it at home for yourselves now. If you cross your legs very tightly, and then once you're very tight, bring in your arms, fold your arms very, very tight, bring your shoulders in, bring your chin right down, squeeze yourself, and now smile. You'll find that it's very difficult and it looks like an awful grimace. We can't smile if our body is all scrunched up. So if we go to a networking event and we're looking uncomfortable and we're closed in, yeah, what it'll do, it'll affect the smile. And so the whole thing about a smile is it allows us to have open body language. That when you smile, it means you're friendly, approachable, warm and open. And that's the first thing we want people to see when they see you. Once we've got the smile right, you know, we do a very strange thing, particularly in a business setting. Within the first 3 seconds, we can touch another human being. Yes, you've got it. We handshake. I don't know whether anybody's ever had a handshake done to them which has hurt. Yeah, and it's really squashed in and has even brought tears to your eyes. Well, I've had it many, many times. Also, you know, there's the handshakes where somebody only gives you part of the hand. We call this a wet fish. Yeah, it's just a straight in. It's really awful. And the handshake can say so much about a person and so much about what's inside them. Most people have never been taught how to handshake. So what we try and do is help people in that first process create a really good, strong but not overly strong handshake that says a lot about them and their level of confidence. And so as we approach somebody with a handshake, I want you to think about where that hand is going to go so that we can tackle people in the handshake in the right way. Now, most times when we clasp a hand together with somebody, we might just quite miss the hand. And so therefore, if you miss the hand, you can get to squash all of these bone areas in the other person's hand. Well, that can hurt, particularly for women, because we tend to wear rings on the right hand and we shake with the right hand. If somebody squeezes that, it can hurt. So the easiest way for you never to be hurt and for you to never hurt other people is just to follow this quick technique. First of all, when you shake hands, look for this part, this fleshy part with the person's hand, and again yours. And as you join the two parts, it needs to join at that point. So it joins in, then your hand folds around, and what you'll find is that your hand is folded around the soft part underneath the hand, which will never hurt them, and their position will also be in the same place on your hand. So that gives you a nice, firm, 50-50 steady grip without hurting either person. And you can master that every time you shake hands. You're in control of making those two parts of your hand join together. So you might be sitting on your own just now, as it's a bit difficult, as you've seen, trying to do it one-handed. But perhaps, you know, within the first few minutes of getting out there, just go and practice shaking hands with someone. See how different it feels when you're in control. Now, a little story. A little while ago, I was working in London for a big organisation. It's a big legal organisation, and they'd asked me to speak to 90 people. I arrived at the event, and it was a very grand place, quite close to the Houses of Parliament. In fact, just opposite the Houses of Parliament in London. When I arrived at the event, I got myself prepared to give the talk and actually went up and gave the talk to 90 people. And then afterwards we were doing a practical session during the people's lunch break. After I'd finished, this man came up to me and he went, "Jolly good show, dear. It's a jolly good show. Yeah, it's a difficult lot, this lot, though, especially for somebody of your sort." Well, I stopped and I thought, well, what sort am I? Now, he could have put me in a very difficult situation, but you know, some of the hints and tips I'm going to teach you over the next few sessions will help you to get away from those difficult situations and really come out with the strength and courage of your convictions inside. But did you notice the double-handed pat? You know, sometimes people do that because they don't think it's a generation thing, it's a power thing. So always make sure that when you shake hands, you're doing a really good job getting that connection just right. The next part is the eye, and it's not about eye, it's making eye contact. You know, the eyes are the windows to the soul, and when you make connection with somebody for the first time, make that eye contact. Of course, handshaking and eye contact also have cultural differences, and you really must get to know the cultural differences of the people that you're dealing with or the country that you're dealing with when you're going networking. But for a general business setting, the handshake and the eye contact are very important. So one of the difficulties is when you go to shake hands with a person, we generally look down at the hand. Another experiment you could try, just to show you don't need to do that anymore, is to just move your hand across your chest area and keep facing forward. Do that for a few seconds. Can you still see your hand? Yes, of course you can, because it's peripheral vision. So as you go to shake hands, you can look at the person and shake hands and you'll never miss. The next important thing in that first 3 seconds is your name. And we've perfected a technique of saying your name so people can understand and hear your name and remember your name every single time. And I did it at the start of this show. We call it pause and effect. And the name goes like this: Sue, Sue Tonks. And the pause is between your first name and your first name again. So let me show you again. Hi, I'm Sue, Sue Tonks. In that way, people can pick up the message. They've got the Sue, then there's the pause. Now they're tuned in, and then they hear your full name. So it's Jeff Smith. even for a very long name, it will still work. Edward, Edward Woodward. So when you're introducing yourself, give people a chance to remember your name. Give them a chance to hear it. And we find this technique works every single time, because people, even though they say, and you are, there is a period of time where they're not connected to you. And if they say, and you are, and you go, Sue Tonks, they've missed it. So with the pausing effect, even if they miss the first one, they'll pick it up and the first name's repeated, so it will help them remember it for a longer time. So the new technique. And finally, enthuse. This isn't about being overly enthusiastic. This enthuses the inner glow inside you that says that I want to make a connection, connect with other people. I want to find out about you. And it's the bit that makes your eyes sparkle. So next time you're in an event, meet somebody for the first time, remember to shine. Next time we talk, we're going to be talking about some of the problems and difficulties that women say they encounter when they go to particularly male-orientated networking business events. And we're going to look at some of the reasons why they feel like that and some of the tips and techniques to help them turn that corner and really make a fabulous effort of becoming an effective networker. Thank you very much. See you soon.